Good morning, my friends. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. I welcome you to the Morning Mindset. Thank you for taking the time to get your mind aligned with the truth of God. Let's just start out by taking a deep breath, by clearing our minds of all the things that are distracting or weighing on us. And let's commit our hearts right now to setting our minds on the truth of God. We're going to do that today by looking at Psalm number 145. The first few verses are very interesting to me. They're interesting in this way. If you remember that Psalms are actually songs that were sung in the worship of Israel. Sometimes they were songs that were sung by the writer themselves, kind of like a musical prayer. The last few we've been looking at, Psalm 143, were probably like that. They were prayers of David. This one is a song of praise of David, is what the heading above it says. And you can tell that right off because the first three verses especially just focus on who God is. That's it. There's no requests. There's no theology that David's trying to remind himself about. This is just flat out praise. Listen to these verses. I will extol you, my God and King, and bless your name forever and ever. Every day I will bless you and praise your name forever and ever. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. I just love that. There's something about the pure, unsullied praise of the Lord that grabs my heart. And it puts my perspective back in a place it should be, where, like verse 3 says, I'm recognizing the Lord is great. He is mighty. He's beyond all that I can comprehend. And he's greatly to be praised. His greatness is unsearchable. Do you understand what that means? It means if we were to search in an effort to try and find out how great he is, we would fail at that search. There is no way that we can grasp the breadth and the height and the depth of how massively great our God is. This is wonderful. Look at verse number 4. It's the next section begins. He says, one generation shall commend your works to another and shall declare your mighty acts. Let me ask you, is this happening in your home if you're a parent? Are you commending the Lord's works to your children? Are you pointing out the times when God provides, the times when God provides some great gift or some great blessing to your family? Are you pointing out in the difficult times that God loves you all and he is faithful and he is going to care for you? You know, some parents don't talk that way with their children when they're small, especially because they don't want to, quote unquote, burden their children with the cares of life, the stresses, the things that are coming. They figure they're going to have enough of that as they get older. I just want them to be kids right now. You know, I totally understand that sentiment, but let me challenge you with something. The sooner your children learn to rest and trust in the Lord, to put their confidence in him, the better it's going to be for their life as a whole, because they will have developed habits of doing so from the time they're a small child. That really is when most of our habits are developed, is in the earlier stages of life. And so when David says here, one generation shall commend your works to another and shall declare your mighty acts, he's really giving us a parenting principle. He's telling us we should not withhold from our children our observations about how the Lord is acting in the world around us, how he is acting in the specific circumstances of our lives. Commend his works to your children. Tell them of his mighty acts. Verse 5 says, one generation shall also focus on the glorious splendor of your majesty and on your wondrous works. I will meditate. So parent, child, everyone in the family should be meditating on the glorious splendor of God's majesty. Do you have those conversations in your family? I want to encourage you, find time today to talk about the Lord's greatness with your children and with those around you. And join me again tomorrow.